Welcome to the Too Many Rides Garage.
Change oil in the NX. Welcome to the Too Many Rides Garage. Today we'd like to get a little bit of oil change going on. We've got the nx650 and I've never changed the oil on it yet since I've had it. And I think the oil needs changing. Anyway, we're going to change the oil today. Thought I'd bring you along. I know it's a mundane chore, but you know, some of you haven't seen oil changed before, but this is the first time I've changed the oil on the nx650. We've got a drip pan there to prevent massive spills on the rug, and then we got a couple other pans available here. I was taking a look, and I think I got the tools necessary. It's not going to take a whole lot of tools. You got to have an oil filter, but mainly it starts right down here at the frame. We're going to have to get this loose somehow. Looks like a 14 to me. Got to have a 14 with a 1/2 inch drive. I want most of my oil in the coffee can. That's the plan. When you first open this up, it tends to squirt all the way over here. Just to be safe, I'm going to start out like this. And like that. And I'm going to move that into place as we go here. Well, that was messy. Really messy. I got oil everywhere. It didn't work well. It's a complete failure. At least I didn't get any on the rug. My big pan saved me. So we got it to drain, but it went inside the skid pan. Gee, I would like to have avoided that. Okay, so I'm going to let that drain for a little while, pause the tape, and then we're going to go over to the other drain location and drain that. And this is where we put the plug back in here. Alright, so you got your oil drained out good enough there. That's good enough. Let's just go ahead and put this back in so we're not constantly dripping the last little bits out of here. Now this has a crush washer on it. And typically you're going to want to replace that as necessary. You could replace it every single time, but that's kind of a waste. Seeing as how they don't really leak there. Now down at the bottom, that's another story. So we're going to need an Allen for this. And when you open this up, oil drains down here. So we're going to make a custom drain apron, and you'll be able to see the oil drip down without getting on the motor, hopefully. That's what you're hopefully going to see. Okay, now we've created a chute for the oil to drop down through, and you know, it's not a lot of oil, but it gets down under the skid plate at the frame. You can't reach in there. So I just soon try to keep every bit of that out of there, if I can. So you got 3 Allen bolts here to take out on the filter cover. Sometimes you're going to see 6mm hex heads instead of Allens. This has Allens. It's easy to change a filter. Got an O-ring here. You don't have to replace that unless it's bad. It all looks brand new still. Hard to believe it's a 1989 motorcycle. Okay, so you got your spring back here that you gotta have. Keeps it springy. And then we got some leftover oil here that's gotta come out. Oil even got past this. It's all down and along the skid plate. I'm gonna have to spray the bike off now. I'm gonna keep you right here on this side of the bike while I pull the plug on the other side. You know what it looks like. You don't need to have a visual, do you? But yeah, the thing is, I want to get the motor drained out the rest of the way. You know what I mean? Drain the motor. It's on pretty tight. Now I'm backing the bolt off, and I'm going to try again to diffuse the flow a little bit and have it drain into the coffee can. Well, some got on the frame, but not bad. Now this has a crush washer on it too. It looks to be in pretty good shape. But while that's draining out, I may as well prepare the drain plug for reinstallation. So what I like to do, even though I've got the crush washer, I like to wrap Teflon tape around it so that when this crushes it really makes a seal. Putting the oil filter back together, you've got the rubber side that goes out. You got to make sure you put your spring in here, and it sits in the center of the back of the crankcase cover. So there it is sitting there, and you get your oil filter and just put it in like that. You can test it, make sure it's springy, and if that's all looking good, then you want to try to get your cover on without losing your spring location. I'm installing this oil filter, and I see this doesn't have, I've seen them before where they stick on here a little better. I'm going to take a look at a different oil filter before I move on. I wanted to try a Honda brand, an official Honda oil filter, but I'm all out. I'm all out of Honda oil filters, so I'm going to have to use this one. This is an oil filter. I got a 5-pack off eBay. So I'm just putting the oil filter back in there dry. And we got to tighten that down. Got our notches lined up here. We're all set. I know I'm really going to get something to crush. Know what I mean? We're gonna crush it. This got to go underneath, way down low here. See that spot? Okay, so then we're gonna have to tighten that down. You're screwing steel into aluminum. You don't want to end up having trouble there. So I think we have all the oil drained, and now we got to start talking about filling her back up with oil. There's the filler. I'm going to need a funnel for that. We're going to fill the nx650 with oil, and the previous owner had been using 540 Rotella, so I bought some of that to top it off as needed, and I've only ever had to use a half a quart so far. So now I'm gonna have to, I may as well use it up. And we need to come up with 4 pints here. There's one. There's 2. This is the 3rd pint. Oh no. I filled it too fast. What a mess. What in the hell? Oh no. Looks like I got a hell of a job ahead of me to spray this sucker off. It's coated with oil. Darn it, I just filled it too fast. What a mess. It's like I want to spray it off before I even start it. I don't want to cook a bunch of oil on there. Darn it. Well, let's see where the dipstick is. I just filled it too fast, that's all. It's certainly all the way up there. So with that bummer, I'm just going to have to clean the bike off. I'm going to wash the bike a bit. It's got oil all over it now. Okay, here's where we're at. I had to spray the bike down because when I was putting oil in, I overfilled it. I filled it too quickly, and oil ran down on the exhaust and everywhere. So I decided I would just spray the bike off. Then I ran it a little bit to check the oil, and it seemed to be in there, but not up to snuff yet. Now it is. So I just went 3 miles, and it's right up where it should be. Upper level. So that's a done deal. But while I have it out here, I'm gonna go ahead and oil the chain. Got the oil change today. First time ever. made some mistakes. This chain is oiled already, it doesn't need a lot. Okay. It's an O-ring chain, it doesn't need a whole lot of oil. You always oil your chain from the inside so that when it throws oil, it throws it through the chain and off, instead of just off and not through. And we're ready to ride. The only problem is I've leaked oil out on the ground here, and we've got an oily mess going on back here. I think I'll have to rub that down. Well, as a final note, the NX got an oil change, chain lube, a little bit of wiping down, and it's all refreshed at 10,182.1 miles. And it's all up to snuff and ready to go. I don't know what to tell you as a final note other than it's ready. It's all ready to go now.